Hey guys, welcome to Unreal Life here this morning. Beautiful morning. As you can see behind me, it is snowy out. We are very, very close to ice fishing season, but we thought before that happens, we thought we would just take you out here with us and show you guys how to cast a rod. Now, the rod that we're using is what's called a spin cast rod. I recommend a spin cast rod for anybody that's beginning and just starting out. I'm gonna get Justice to show you how to cast a spin cast rod. You will show them. Let's go. Okay, another thing I want to mention, guys, before you even go out fishing, you want to make sure that you check your regulations, that you're legit when you're fishing, whether it be barbless hooks. It's all in there. I would suggest getting a guide from your local tackle shop. Okay, let's get into it. Justice, can you reel up for us? Okay, you beginners out there, just want to show you a quick little tip in order to be able to switch out things really quick. And what I mean by switch out is switch lures very quickly. You put on what's called a snap swivel. The snap swivel has like a barrel swivel. It's got a built-in little system here so it doesn't have line twist, because spinners and different baits that you use can twist up your line. It has a little clip here, clip and unclip. And when it's unclipped, you could put on a lure. In this case, we're using a silver crocodile. All we're gonna do is put the end of the clip through the hole there, and then make sure that you snap the clip back on. And that's a quick and easy way to switch out different lures. So now, Justice is gonna cast the lure. You wanna make sure that you reel up so it's nice and close to the end. That's about good, nice and controllable.
So I take it right here and I put it right on the line, see? I like pull it towards me while I'm holding the rod.
Yep.
And then I put this bar up. See?
And you don't want to let go of that right away, right? Because
yeah, you don't want to let go of this.
Okay.
Keep holding this. Then
when do you let go of that?
You're gonna go like that and swing.
Yeah.
You're gonna let go right like about there.
Okay. Now, do you go overhand or do you do sidearm?
So
You do sidearm? Okay. Show us a sidearm here. And so he's holding with his finger, and he's not gonna let go of the trigger finger, which is pinching the line, until it's right there. Oh my goodness. That was another really far cast. Okay, now how fast, do you wait a couple seconds to let it sink?
Yeah, I waited a couple seconds to let
Okay.
it sink, and then you, since the bar's up, you put it down like that.
Well, it should start, when you start reeling, it'll automatically, if it's up like this, start reeling. There you go. Reel in. How fast do you reel in?
Like about this or a little.
Okay, so if you notice that you keep getting hung up on the bottom and you keep getting weeds, that means you're reeling in too slow. And you don't want to reel in too fast like a madman. You want to imitate about the speed of a minnow swimming through the water, correct?
Yeah, like
So
this
maybe
speed.
like this.
Okay, now the speed will be different depending on what you are using as a lure. And you might get what's called a spinner bait. And a spinner, you don't have to reel in very fast, and it's got a blade on it which will spin round and round and round. This is a spoon, crocodile spoon, so let me show you here. When you're reeling in, you want to go about this fast, and you see how it just kind of sways side to side, side to side. That's what you want. And every once in a while when you're reeling in, I stop reeling and let it fall to give it some better action. So you're reeling and reeling and reeling, you stop, let it fall. Then you start reeling and reeling and reeling, stop, let it fall. Reel, 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 reel. So it looks like a little bait fish that's injured. It's swimming, and then it kind of falls. And a lot of times what you'll do is you'll get a fish strike on the fall. Okay, so that's a spin cast. That's how you cast. Okay, one more thing I wanted to point out to you guys is something that's called the drag system. Okay, the drag is what allows you to play the fish without breaking your line. So here's what the drag system does. On a spin cast rod, it's either going to be at the top like this one is, or at the very bottom. There's a little dial. Usually it's righty tighty, lefty loosey. So this one's at the top. If I turn it to the right, that tightens it, which means if I'm trying to pull out line, it's really tough. You see that? And if I had a big fish and I didn't have any way to give him some give, he would snap my line. Now, if I loosen this to the left a few turns, now you can see it's a lot easier. And the more I do it, the easier it gets. Okay, you want to have that set so that you can pull, then it's not too tight and it lets some line out, but you don't want it so loose that a little pull and it goes out, because then you'll never be able to reel in. Just see that? Look at just the weight of the hook is making it go out. And you don't want it to so tight that there's no give, because if you catch a big enough fish, he just snaps your line. Okay, so you want a little bit of give so that when that fish decides to take off, it gives them a little bit. What that system does is, even if you're reeling, like some kids get really excited, especially when you're a beginner, you get super excited that you have a fish and you're just gonna keep reeling and you just want to keep reeling. Well, so a lot of times you'll lose the fish and it'll snap the line because that fish is trying to get away from you and you're trying to bring him in. And if you're using some lighter gear, light line, he's gonna snap your line. So that's why you want to make sure that you have a bit of drag so that when he does that, you don't lose your fish, because it'll do that even if you are excited and keep reeling in. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you at the dock.
We are at the dog.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching Unreal. Thanks for anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in to Unreal Life here today for beginners, parents that want to take their kids out fishing. Subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more. We're gonna get into ice fishing. As you can see, the ground is it's getting snowy. Ice fishing is among us, so we're going to be getting into different kinds of gear, different tents, heaters, rods, reels, all that stuff. All right, stay tuned.